My name is Sam Dosa. I'm a public speaker. I'm a business coach and a mentor. This is the life purpose event. The topic is so brilliant. Is the awesome power of living your life purpose. Today's topic we have chosen because I have a fantastic speaker with me today, and his name is Howard Samble from United States of America. Tell us more. What exactly, life purpose is a very bigger subject, crafting of your life, being a genius about your life. Tell us more about where you're coming from, what has been your journey so far to bring to this place at the moment.
Well, it's a great question, Sam. Many years ago, I made a transition in my life. I was in the field of mathematics, and my original goal was to be a college professor and teach. And the universe had other plans, let's say. And I awakened to the fact that there was a whole other universe of possibilities. I studied astrology, and it was the catalyst for me to embark upon a long journey of personal growth and spiritual growth and business development, doing many, many things with many teachers. But the funny part is being a Taurus and collecting all of the gems, like Tauruses are collectors. They like to collect, right? So every time I had a teacher, I would collect the gems and the gems and the gems, and I keep pulling it together and pulling it together. And eventually what evolved was the life crafting system. And the life crafting system is really designed for really anybody, particularly people who are in transition in life or at that place where they've been doing is no longer working, they've outgrown it, they're bored, whatever. They're just ready to find what is their passion, what is their gift, what do they truly love. And life crafting, we guide them step by step through the process to make these discoveries and finally make money doing what they love. So that's the short the short version of it.
Fantastic. What is the meaning of life purpose?
Well, life purpose is a phrase that we use, Sam, to represent the sort of overarching knowing, awareness, why you are here, why you are on this planet, why did you come to this planet? Now, most people don't think they had a choice of coming to this planet, right? But truth is you did. And in order to find your life purpose, you have to be able to be in an inquiry, in a personal inquiry. Now, most people are looking outward, so they're looking to authority. They're looking at shoulds, supposed tos, have tos. Who is the authority? Who knows to advise them? Okay, well, that will never work because the life purpose lives inside of you. Okay, so you have to go where it is. You can't find an ocean in Nebraska, as I often joke about it, And so actually, in this inquiry, you give yourself permission to know the truth, but it's not a bolt of lightning that all just comes down at you in one thing. It's little small insights and discoveries that slowly coalesce and come together more and more and more. And it takes an inquiry, it takes a commitment to this discovery process, and then a permission to know the truth, but permission to know the truth, feel the truth, speak the truth, celebrate the truth, okay? Another requirement on your life purpose is you have to be able to feel in your heart, in your body, in your soul. You have to feel it because it's not a purely intellectual thing, right? I mean, there could be data and information and concepts and things you like and that are fascinating to you. That's great. But ultimately, life purpose is a deeply feeling conviction and a deeply feeling knowing about what it is that's truly important to you. And once you find it, everything changes. Everything changes.
Absolutely. My next question to you is about how can you discover your life purpose?
Well, discovering the purpose is, as I was mentioning before, Sam, is a commitment to inquiry and a commitment to discovery. And it
Yeah.
doesn't happen in a vacuum. And it doesn't happen when you're alone all by yourself, because
Yeah.
we all have our patterns. We all have our different ways that we get in our own way and we sabotage ourselves, or patterns where we go around in a loop over and over again, stuck with the same thoughts and the same ideas that just, took us to wherever we've been. So what I'm getting at is it needs to be in a support environment, in a really empowering support environment where you have skilled guidance and people who care deeply and who are just going to be honest with you and give you feedback, but without an axe to grind. Like, they're not trying to convince you of anything. They're not trying to make up your mind for you. They're guiding you to find your truth. And as the truth lives in layers, it's in layers. So you find one level of truth, then you ask more questions and you get more, and you ask more questions. But you need to know what kind of questions to ask, right? Because when you know what kind of questions to ask, that's going to determine what you discover a lot. We've developed some extraordinary methods for gaining clarity using an inquiry method, an inquiry dialogue method that's amazing, where you can go down to any level you want to. And when you find it, you feel it. So we work with the cognitive, the mental, we work with the feeling aspect, and we work with language. Now, language is very important too. Why? Because we live in a language-based society, right? If you can't talk about something in words, it's not real. You won't trust it. You know what I mean? So you need to have language, and precise language, like not, oh, my purpose in life is to spread joy. That's not a purpose. That's like, that's just like living, right? So you need to have language that's specific, that's focused, and then a feeling that goes with that, so that it's all very compelling. Well, the first thing is that the individual must shift from an outer directed model to an inner directed. They have to be willing to go from looking outside themselves for the answers to going and moving inside themselves for the answers. Now, that poses a particular challenge because a lot of people don't trust themselves. So whatever answer they get, they don't trust it, right? They think it's, because they don't validate their own truth, their own knowing, right? So the first step is being able to know what is your own truth and begin to trust your own truth, to begin to trust what you know and what you feel, and validate that knowing, validate that. We guide you to do that. We guide you to gain the clarity, to prove to yourself it's real, to validate that it's real. And then as you bring together more and more pieces of truth, they start to coalesce. They start to, become a cohesive whole, like an organic thing. And then you go, holy cow, holy cow. I'm feeling this is really true for me. This is what I truly love. The other thing that's absolutely critical, Sam, is that while you're in this inquiry, which is kind of a sacred inquiry, you cannot jump over to money. Like, how am I going to make money at this? And the reason for that is because it will derail you. The whole money conversation gets into what I call survival fear and survival energy. So it derails this whole sacred and creative inquiry of learning and knowing yourself. So what we do is we don't discard money. We're very practical. We simply put it aside until later, until once you've really gotten that truth, that core truth. Okay?
Mhm.
Aligned means that you're connected to the divine in you, and you're
Yes.
connected to your heart, soul, your mind, and your gifts. There's like a straight line connecting all those things, so that's where we get alignment, right? There's a line, and they connect
Yes.
all those things. So you're tapping
Yes.
into your creative essence, or the divine
Yes.
in you. It's literally like you are a manifester, a bulb vibrating out and shining out into the world with your specialness, your uniqueness, your individuality. Okay. And this is you're the source of your gift. This is your greatest gift. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
And so we have
Indeed.
simply the tools to take you through those steps. But I don't want any viewers here to get the impression that this is impractical, or that this is like woo woo up in the clouds. This is like,
No, no,
this
no.
is absolutely concrete, and it's going to impact. Life purpose will impact every facet of your life, including your income, your success in the world, your accomplishments, your personal fulfillment, and your impact or contribution to others. Every single
Yeah.
area is impacted by life purpose, everything. Certainly, the way that you identify that you are getting close or that you are tapping into your life purpose is when there's an emotion, there's a feeling that you have. Okay, what I have discovered over many, many years guiding people through this is it's very emotional, actually. Okay, it's very moving to people because when you get a handle on what that is, it's sacred. It's like it's you can't even really put it into words. It's a feeling of awakening. I would say you could call it a feeling of awakening. Like, you hear a lot of stories about people who have near death experiences and then they come back, or we call NDEs, and they come back and their values have all changed, and now they want to make the world a better place, etc. Well, I mean, what's really happened there, obviously, is people connect to their soul, right? And then so in the physical body, now they're manifesting that. Well, it's not that different, actually. You don't have to go through a near death experience in order to connect to your soul. Your soul's available to you whenever you want. You can get to it. You just have to be willing to feel it, know it, see it, speak it. And here's the key is like, don't expect it to come all at once. It's not going to. It's not a bolt of lightning that hits you and then suddenly you're aware. It comes in stages. And the key is to celebrate each stage and each knowing and to speak it. But without this concern about jumping to conclusions, you don't need to like rush it or try to jump to a conclusion. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's a
Absolutely.
very
Please.
important difference between purpose and goal. People
Yes.
confuse them; they're not the same. Okay, let me
Yes.
clarify that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so purpose is direction. Purpose is a statement of direction, like where I'm going. A
Mm-hmm.
goal is something that lives within the context of the purpose. So
Yes.
a great simple example is my purpose is to go east. Well, you can never go so far east that there's no more east to go, right? You can always go more east, right? So
Yep.
going east
Yep.
is the purpose. And then maybe if you live in San Francisco, you might say, well, Chicago is a goal and New York is a goal. Quote, they're east of where I am. So you want to first of all think of context. Purpose is frame or context, and meaning is determined by context. Context and meaning are associated with each other. Once you know the
Yes.
purpose, you know the direction, you know the commitment you have, then you can define goals on that path. So that's the key. Then goals, become defined along that way. So I want to make sure that's clear.
Yes. So, how life purpose can transform your life?
That's my favorite question, Sam.
Perfect. Perfect. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. 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 So, why it's my favorite question is because a lot of people who are initially presented with like purpose that they think, oh, that's sort of this, out there airy fairy thing. It doesn't have any real practicality to it. It's for those, woo woo types and all. Okay. So we're going to dispel that. Okay, so when you're living your life purpose, you're living in alignment with your life purpose. What's really going on? What's really going on is that your energy, your core energy, is connected to your physical body and your being. So and that means that everything you do is an expression of that power. That power, okay? And so that permeates every single thing you do. So everything you say, every goal you have, every direction, any business that you might pursue, uh, is infused with this power and this energy, which is ultimately love. But it's focused though. It's focused. It's intense. It's pragmatic. You know what I mean? It's real. It's not fuzzy at all. It's intensely focused. So a good example of this is like, okay, somebody's on stage and they're sharing about their work and they're doing something, whatever, and you can feel their level of conviction behind what they're doing, right? You can sense it. You know they're real. You know they're authentic. You know they're honest and they're being, in tune. And you know that the value that they're delivering with their services or their products or whatever is off the scale, right? Because why? Because it's bringing that creative essence, that divine in them out into the world. What could be more powerful than that, right? And so this has huge effect on your financial life, because what is money really? It's the exchange of value, right? So if you're creating immense value in the world because you're divinely connected and inspired and you're sharing your greatest gifts, right? Well, then your value goes through the roof. When your value goes through the roof, then the money you earn goes through the roof. Okay, they're all connected, right? And the other thing, a comment I want to make about this is about beliefs. Now, we all have various beliefs. Some are empowering and some are limiting. And on a subconscious level, most people are operating with a lot of limiting beliefs, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And most of them are invisible or transparent, like we don't really know what those are. So we keep bumping up against them and struggling with them, which is why so many people uh, achieve so much, a small fraction of their capabilities, right? Okay, so now let's bring in life purpose and let's look at it. So when you're living your life purpose, you're in alignment with that. Those limiting beliefs, I mean, some of them will still be there, but you're beyond a lot of it. You're beyond that. You've blasted through those limitations, right? You blasted through them because you're plugged in. And you're plugged in to your power, to your essence, to your power, right? And what's also cool about it is that when you do encounter limiting beliefs and you're living true to who you are, it becomes a relatively easy matter to shift those beliefs and to discreate them, because you're bringing forth your true nature, your spiritual essence is blasting through those limits. Okay, so if you feel like, oh well, I sabotage myself, I get in my own way, blah blah blah, right? Clarify your life purpose and go for it and pursue what you love, and 75% of those things will be gone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can completely agree with you. Life purpose, income, and fulfillment. How do you do that?
Well, I covered that just previously, Sam, and that is that we know that money is value. Money is the exchange of value, right? We touched on that. So
Mm-hmm.
people who earn more money in life, they have one, of course, they have the belief that they are deserving of that money, that they can receive it. They're allowing themselves to receive it. They also have a handle on creating value. Okay, so when you create value and you know where your market niche, your target market, in other words, the people who can both most benefit from your unique gifts and your value, then you have a match. There's a match there. Okay, so then you're putting these pieces together: value and permission and willingness to receive and really good communication with your target audience, and living your life purpose authentically and providing value to your ideal audience with your passion and your gift. So that's again alignment. We come back to that same principle I mentioned earlier: align, 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 and be real and reach those people and then create relationships. Because in today's world, marketing and sales or enrollment is all a function of relationship. And so as you build relationships and you have all these puzzle pieces in place, there is no real other outcome possible except increasing income, making more money. Okay. But you have to be willing to do the inner work. You have to be willing to identify the beliefs holding you back and use the kind of tools that we have that will transform those beliefs at the subconscious level, because you cannot change limiting beliefs in the mind. It will never work. It's like trying to give yourself a pep talk, and you can't,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there are a lot of pieces, you could see a lot of puzzle pieces to this. And what I'm going to be able to do in our event today is I'm going to give people a gift shortly where I'm going to help you get started, as you say, on this journey, and
Mm-hmm.
not only take a giant leap forward in the journey, but also know that you're now part of a community. You're now part of a
Yep.
network and a community where we're going to keep supporting you in this direction. So it's not
Yep.
like one thing and then you're done, because support system is everything. It's truly, truly, truly everything. Having that support system is a totally key factor.
Absolutely. You need support system. Without support system, we are disintegrate
Yeah, yeah,
ourselves because
exactly. You have to be pragmatic, Sam, as well as visionary and pragmatic at the same time. And you need to be
yes,
aware, conscious and aware of your own patterns and breaking through those patterns in order to have everything sort of work together.
absolutely, absolutely. So tell us about your gift to the audience who have been watching us, who have been viewing us, and who will be watching us later on. What is your gift for the audience who have been committed to this interview today?
It's an ebook, a
Mm-hmm.
downloadable PDF ebook with the
Mm-hmm.
title, The Awesome Power of Living Your Life Purpose. And
Mm-hmm.
tell you just a little bit about it. Back in 2009, I had this unique opportunity to be on a radio show, with a woman in Texas. And, it was one of those magical moments that sometimes just happens that you can't really predict, but it shows up. And so she interviewed me on this subject of life purpose, kind of like what we're doing
Mm-hmm.
today. Uh, and it turned out to be quite a powerful recording, and of course her Texas accent was very charming too. Anyway,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
over the years since 2009, so many people have commented to me, "Holy cow, that interview was amazing! Wow, I got so much out of that. I got so much positive feedback there." So I decided to create an ebook where you're going to get the entire interview in audio, but then we transcribed it also. And so you're going to get the full text transcription of it. So some people like to read more than listen. So you have that option. Then what's going to happen, of course, people will have this video on the page. Then you're going to be receiving some emails with more tools. So we're just going to keep giving you more support and more tools. And you'll learn about my book, Craft Your Genius Life. So you'll have an opportunity to get that, and just be part of our network and part of our community.